All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to get right into it today. So, today, I'm going to be talking about developing a pleasing personality. And I think this is really important simply because at the end of the day, when it comes down to doing business, right, there's three things that people look for and three things that people want to do business with. And that's people that they know, they like, and they trust. Okay, so in order for them to have a reason to want to know you, to like you, and actually end up trusting you, you got to have a pleasing personality. Okay, and I want to start this talk today by saying, right, I think there's this myth out there, and it's not too far off, but it's off, right? It's this myth that, oh, if you just go out there and you be yourself, everything's going to be okay and it's going to work out at the end of the day, right? I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying that's wrong, right? You can't just be yourself every day, right? You got to be your best self. You got to go above and beyond every single day to become your best self. You have to start working systematically at developing the best you. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today, right? Developing a pleasing personality. Okay. So ultimately there's 25, there's 25, major factors that to developing a pleasing personality. And I really want you to start evaluating yourself on a scale of 0 to 100. Where do I stand in this part of my personality, right? Because there's always room for improvement, right? So how can I start getting better at this? Okay. So as I go through the list today, there's going to be 25 areas that I'm going to touch on. I want you to start with 100. And if you lack some, right, deduct a few points from there. Okay. So without further ado, let's get right into it, right? Number one is a positive mental attitude, right? Do you have a positive mental attitude towards life, towards every day, towards other people that you interact with, right? What is your mental attitude, right? On a scale of 0 to 100, what is your mental attitude? Where do you stand with your outlook on life and actually achieving certain things? Okay? Because the person with the poor negative attitude, people aren't going to want to do business with you. People are not going to want to be around you, and people are not going to want to be attracted to you. Okay, so we got to start first and foremost on working on our attitude. Now, secondly, is flexibility. Are you flexible in your plans, in your life, right? If things don't go the way that you expected them to, are you able to be flexible? Do you have it in you to go with the flow at certain points? Right? Or are you rigid? Are you rigid? It's got to be your way or no one else's way, and you're going to bitch and whine about it. Right? We got to start asking ourselves, how flexible are you? Number 3 is a pleasing tone of voice. Right? What is your tonality? Right? Do you have this squealy rat-like voice, or do you express enthusiasm through your tonality? Do you express certainty through your tonality? Right? What is how would you rate your tone of voice? Because that's absolutely essential, right? People listen to people that have that they just, there's that certain tonality to their voice, right? They want to listen more to them, right? So how would you rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 100 on your tone of voice? And the good news is, right, especially for tone of voice, for me, I didn't always sound like this, right? It wasn't like this, right? When I first started knocking on doors, I actually had a pretty crappy sales pitch. It sounded monotone and robotic. But the thing is, you know, the more lives that you do, the more speeches that you do, the more that you're talking to prospects, the better your tone of voice is going to get, right? So where would you stand on a scale of 0 to 100 when it comes to your tonality, right? That's really important. All right. Number 4 is tolerance, right? How tolerant are you, right? How tolerant are you to certain situations? Are you willing to let life, you know, just push you all over? Or are you willing to stand up to things that you're not tolerant to, right? Are you willing to like create your environment and really be like, no, this is the way I want to make it? Or are you intolerant to other people? And let me apologize there. I actually may have been going on the wrong direction with tolerance. But when I'm talking about tolerance, it's what's your attitude to all people, right? Are you open-minded to all people? Even if they're not as well off as you, even if they don't have the same beliefs as you, are you still tolerant and at least open-minded to them? Because a closed mind, right, is not going to help you learn anything, even if it's from somebody that you didn't expect to learn from, right? Are you tolerant towards other people, right? Do you respect other people even when they have different views than you do? Okay. Number 5, do you have a sense of humor, right? Do you have a sense of humor, right? People do not want to surround themselves with people who aren't able to just laugh and take life not so seriously. Or, right, how would you rate yourself there? Because having a keen sense of humor actually is one of like the greatest qualities that you can develop. Just being able to laugh, right? Laughter is some of the best times that you remember is when you were just having a good time. You had a sense of humor, right? How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 100 when it comes to your sense of humor? All right, number 6 is frankness. And this one's a little bit tricky to explain, but how frank are you in your decision making, right? How definite are you when it comes to certain choices that you make, right? Are you just drifting, not really sure what you're doing and letting life make its decisions for you? Or are you frank about what you want and you know where you're going in life, because you're not willing to let life push you around? I hope I said frankness right. All right, number 7 is this. Number 7 is having a pleasing facial expression. All right, now what does that mean, right? When you walk around, if you're at a club or a bar, do you walk with a smile or are you walking around with a stern face of I'm a tough guy, right? Or I'm a tough lad and you're not going to crack me, right? It's about this like facial mask that we wear when we're out in public, right? We act like, you know, how we act in public, right? You know it. I know it, right? You're not the same person out in public than you are at your home sometimes, right? Sometimes you put on a mask. So at least when you put on that mask, is it a pleasing facial expressions that you're putting, or are you putting on a smile? Because at the end of the day, you know, if you simply were to walk around and start smiling at people and just saying hi, right, you're going to be able to open up way more conversations than with a straight face, right? People do not want to talk to people that have a straight face every single day and just, they're almost intimidated by it, right? So in order for you to achieve success, start working simply first and foremost on your smile. It's absolutely one of the greatest gifts that you got. All right. Number 8 is a keen sense of justice, right? What's your level when it comes to, you know, justice, right? Are you able to understand, you know, what's right and what's wrong, right? Because, you know, if you're not just and you're going down this bad path and maybe you're getting away with some things, it's going to end up catching up to you, right? So where's your sense of justice and how would you rate yourself there? Because, you know, you can have, you know, all the sales skills, etc., right? Think about even Jordan Belfort, right? At the end of the day, you know, he got locked up because he was straight up just doing some criminal activity, right? So it comes down to, okay, what is your keen sense of justice, right? How do we, you know, obviously maybe you got the sales skills down, maybe you got the business skills down, but are you using them towards a just end? Or are you, you know, using them towards something that, you know, it isn't right, let's just say. All right. All right. Number 9. Number 9 is this: sincerity of purpose, right? How sincere are you in your definite major purpose, right? Where do you stand when it comes to your purpose, right? Like, here's the deal. If, you know, there's this saying, I'm going to say it, but is if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? Do you have a clear purpose in mind, and are you willing to back that purpose up even when it seems like the world's against you, right? And trust me here, right? When you don't have a sense of purpose, it's going to feel like life is pushing you all around. It's going to feel like the littlest things can completely deteriorate your day. Right? So how well, on a scale of 1 to 100, is your sense of purpose, right? How definite are you in your major purpose? Because I'm telling you, right, it's when you start to develop this keen sense of purpose that all of a sudden you have a reason to start improving your mental attitude, that you have this reason to start improving your personality, right? It really does start with having a keen sense of purpose, right? Being definite about what you want, right? There's no reason to get better if you don't have a place that you're going, right? If you don't have a place that you want to end up going, there's no reason to work on yourself or work on getting better, right? So it really comes down to how definite are you in your purpose, in your definite major purpose. All right. Number 10 is versatility. Number 10 is versatility. And if I recall, all right, I honestly kind of forget what versatility means. I believe it means being able to adjust to different situations, but don't quote me on that. I actually want to skip on that one for now. Number 11 is tactfulness. All right. How tactful are you in your speech? And what I mean by that is this, right? How do you just let words fly out of your mouth? Do you let loose opinions fly out of your mouth? Or are you tactful in what you say? Because at the end of the day, you're speaking to the end audience. I'm not sure where it's coming from or who they are, but when you start blabbering away with your opinions, do you realize whether or not they're going to positively affect the other person or negatively affect them, right? And so when I'm talking about being tactful, I'm talking about, being pretty intentional with your words, right? It's sometimes, the wrong person is hearing what you're saying, and it can really hurt them. And so it really comes down to, okay, am I able to be more tactful with my language? Am I able to be more tactful with the things I say? But my mentor says this: I want to change the way I say things so that the things I say change things, right? And it comes down, like, as small as that seems, right? That is essential, because that individual that listens to you is going to remember how you made them feel. They may not remember what you say, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. So it's important to start being tactful with the words that are coming out of your mouth, because you never know who it can affect. All right. Number 12 is this, right? How prompt are you in making decisions, right? I'm telling you, even when it comes to a pleasing personality, no one likes somebody that doesn't know what they want, that doesn't know what they want to do, that doesn't know how to make a decision, right? Have you ever been around somebody that just simply can't decide what they want to eat, or can't decide where they want to go, or what they want to wear, and it's almost aggravated, right? We gotta, right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you at making decisions? Because that's going to directly affect your personality. All right. Number 13, how well is your faith in infinite intelligence, or whatever you believe in, right? How well is your faith in infinite intelligence, right? Do you believe, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Do you believe that what you want is already done? And how does this relate to a pleasing personality? Well, I would say this, right? I believe that, just having faith that it's going to work out, that all the work that you're putting in is going to work out, is going to start helping you develop a better mental attitude, right? And people want to be around people that have a positive outlook on life, right? If you don't have faith that it's going to work out, right, all of a sudden, negativity is going to creep in to the things that you say, the way that you say them, and et cetera, right? So do you have faith that, even more so that what you want is already done, that it's already possible? Number 14 is this, and it kind of goes down with tactfulness, so I'm going to repeat it again, but it's appropriateness of words, right? Do you select the right type of words, right? I'm going to be straight up, right? Are you cursing and thinking that it's cool? Because, it may seem cool to you, but to some people, the curse words just don't ring true with them. And that actually, having a bad mouth may end up shutting down some deals that you didn't want to shut down, and et cetera, right? Are you appropriate with the words that you're using? Your language is so important, right? People, really, this is serious. Like, your words really do, affect other people's states. It affects your own state, right? What kind of words are you using? Are you using your words deliberately? Are you using them to better your brand, to better what people think about you, or are you using them in a way that knocks people down, right? So it comes down to, right, how well are you at using your words for the right purpose? Okay, number 15 is this: controlled enthusiasm. Yes, it's important, to be enthusiastic as hell, But there's this one thing that Jordan Belfort talks about, and it's called bottled enthusiasm, right? And you don't want to be over the top, right? When on how would you rate your enthusiasm, right? One, are you enthusiastic or are you monotone? And two, is it controlled, right? Are you over the top and scaring people away because you're too enthusiastic about something and now they're scared to tell you they don't agree with you because you're so damn enthusiastic, right? Think about the salesmen that are just way too excited for no reason about this one thing that they're selling you, and you almost think, well, what's the hidden agenda behind it, right? This guy clearly just wants something from me. So it's important to have enthusiasm, but it's also important to bottle it up, right? When you're talking on the phone to a prospect, it's important to be like, have them know that you are super excited about this, but it's like you're bottling it up. You know that it's there, rising up, but you're not shouting and yelling at them, right? So how well can you control your enthusiasm? Number 16 is this. Number 16 is sportsmanship, right? How would you rate yourself? How well would you rate yourself on being a good sport, even when things don't go your way? When it comes to the idea of experiencing temporary defeat or experiencing, a minor loss in business, etc., right? How well are you at being a good sport? Be like, you know what, life, you did well. Maybe you got the best of me this time, but I'm telling you, I'm going to come back. I'm going to bounce back, and it's going to be a whole nother story next time. All right. All right. Number 17 is this: common courtesy, right? This comes down to, do you have well manners, right? Are you willing to open up the door for women? And are you willing to just have common courtesy when you're around other people? Because this is going to show, and it's going to affect, what they actually think of you, and whether or not they want to be around you more, right? If you're not courteous, right, people are slowly but surely not going to want to be around you. So how well would you rate your common courtesy? All right. Number 18 is this, right? How do you dress, right? What is your level of appropriateness of personal adornment, right? How well do you show up to the world, right? How do you present yourself? Are you wearing sweatpants and baggy clothes? Because you can't, let's face it, you can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare. No, you got to present yourself in a professional way. You got to start changing your self-image, simply starting with, the clothes that you wear and doing whatever you can do to look more professional. Right? People aren't going to do business with people that are looking like they don't have it together, that are looking like they simply can't dress themselves, that still need their mom to dress themselves, right? They're not going to trust you if you don't dress well. All right. Number 19 is showmanship, right? Are you able to put on a show? Are you able to express your ideas in a way that actually is kind of entertaining to watch? Right? Or are you just telling the facts as it is, not giving them anything great about it? Right? Are you a showman when you are presenting? Are you a showman for the ideas that you have? Do you have, a clear vision that you're giving them, right? That comes down to the idea of showmanship. Number 20 is this, right? It's going the extra mile. And, I gave a speech yesterday about it. But are you willing to do more than you're paid for? Are you willing to do more service than you are paid for? Right? Are you willing to give them extra so that when they actually decide that they want to invest in you and buy from you, that you're going above and beyond, and they can justify that it's all worth it. And it actually, as a matter of fact, will bring peace of mind to you, knowing that, you're giving them way more than they're even paying you, right? So that there's no question about whether or not you deserve the money or not. All right. Number 21 is this. It's temperance. Temperance. Now, what is temperance, right? What does it mean to be temperate to other people? Right? Are you able to, accept people that may not have as much money as you, that may not have the same beliefs as you, that may not see things from the same point of view? Are you able to be temperate to them? Are you able to be like, you know what? At the end of the day, they're not as well off as I am right now. Even though I came a long way, right? I know I came a long way, but they're still like not as well off. I'm at least going to be temperate to them and realize, it's all right? I got to still respect them as people. At the end of the day, we're all people. So how temperate are you towards others? Number 22. Number 22 is this. It's patience, right? How patient are you? Because yes, let's face it, when it comes to entrepreneurship and selling, it's going to be a lot of work that you might have to do up front. Are you able to be patient with the process? Be patient and not expect things to happen right away, right? When you plant a seed for a tree, let's say it's just an apple tree, right? You got to be patient. There's the law of gestation, right? It's going to take some time for that tree to eventually start growing and sprouting out of the ground. But you got to have patience, right? So how patient are you? And it's going to come down to, right, are you willing to continue putting in the work even when you don't see the results in the beginning? Okay? 23, gracefulness. What does gracefulness mean? Right? How do you carry yourself? How do you carry yourself? When you are talking, when you are walking, are you able to have good body posture? Are you able to talk with a good tone of voice? Are you able to just look like you know what you're talking about? Like look like you are a professional business person, right? How graceful are you? And people notice this, right? When you walk in, they're making first impressions of you. When you walk up to the door, how do you walk? How do you present yourself as you are approaching a prospect? All right. 24 is humility. Right? 24 is humility. Even when things are going your way, life is going great. Are you able, right? How well are you able to not brag, not let your ego get in the way, and just realize that, hey, this is me. Like I made it a long way, but I'm still gonna be like humble about it, right? Because people don't want to be around